Good morning, class. My name is Philip St. Clair. This is my first year teaching. So normally I take a lesson which was given to me by my predecessor, and I'll present a topic. I will take, it's very basic. It has reading, maybe a video, a quiz, and then a test, and then we go out and do some of the work. It doesn't include any discussion really, other than what naturally happens. So I wrote a unit on gas tungsten welding and broke it into 4 lessons. The first one is shop and personal safety. So I believe each segment, each lesson rather, should be broken down so all the elements are covered, especially shop safety and shop etiquette. So we'll be covering in this segment proper PPE for gas tungsten arc welding, soft skill etiquette, safe handling of hot metal, and safety fire protocol. My reference materials are videos, YouTube videos. I use an NCCER curriculum for my welding, industry recognized. So this reference would be from Module 2 of the NCCER curriculum book. So part of the reference will be discussion after the videos, so reading materials, and the safety quiz. So what I have for evidence of learning is passing the quiz and demonstrating safety for the welding, wearing proper PPE, making sure everything is fitting, and knowing how to don the equipment. So that would be lesson 1. Lesson 2 is materials for using gas tungsten arc welding. In this unit, lesson 2 will be covering metal types, pre and post weld cleaning, machine settings, torch parts, gases, weld inspection, electrodes, and filler metals. So what I have for reference materials is videos, hardware demonstrations, like breaking down the equipment and showing it and handing it around and doing a sort of a show and tell on it. It seems to work best. In-depth discussions and a quiz. So my evidence of learning on lesson 2 would be the students would demonstrate proper use of the equipment and successfully pass the quiz. Assessment of the students will determine the proper individual teaching methods when it comes to practical applications. I sort of will read them and sort of check out to see how they learn and what concepts they're grasping and what ones they're not. That will help me determine how I can show them in a practical sense how to do the gas tungsten arc welding. Okay, so now we're going to move on to lesson 3 of the unit, which is demonstration and observation of the gas tungsten arc welding process. We will be covering the setting up the machine, setting up the area, choosing what to weld, gathering the tools needed to accomplish the demonstration. The reference, we will apply the new knowledge from lesson 1 and 2, the safety and materials portion of it, to continue on with the lesson 3. This is the most important time for understanding the objective. Different measures will be used to gain success for each type of learner. We'll once again deal with each person and figure out where they are and take different approaches to get my point across so they can all have a chance at learning this properly. Which finally lands me on lesson 4, which is applying what I've learned, applying what you have learned to gas tungsten arc welding. We will be covering applications, where, why, how, and when, industry standards, career opportunities. So my reference for that is videos, discussions, hands-on activities, and prescribed projects. So the students will, so for assessment, the students will engage in prescribed activities and be assessed on their level of competency. Ongoing grading of the students' engagement and overall soft skills will be taken into account. We work with American Welding Society standards. We use something called a SENSE program, which is a third-party assessment, where we will tackle a unit like gas tungsten arc welding, and we will do the theory exam after studying the material. Then we will move on to a practical exam, which will take a blueprint, and they will cut the material and assemble a blueprint and weld it according to information on the print. So weld symbols and things that they have already learned will be involved. So once they complete this project, they will pass it in, and I will assess it and give it a grade, passing or not passing for it. So in the end of this, I want to do a reflection on the whole unit, just a theory and in-depth talk, just what worked, what doesn't work, and get the kids talking, getting the input from them. It'd be a perfect time to field questions and just go into that sort of thing. And that would be awesome. And then finally, their ticket out the door is, I'm going to hang a whiteboard, and their ticket out the door will be to name 3 industries that uses the TIG welding. So that's what I have on my unit that I put together. It's different than I've normally would be teaching. This is my first year teaching, and I'm sort of recycling the old stuff. But now that I've gone through this first course, I feel that I could put these units together better and have more effective lessons and encourage more the discussion in using depth of knowledge and some other learning tools. So thank you, and good luck to all of you.